Hello, my friends. Welcome to Mindfulness Meditation Monday. My name is Ellen Patrick, and I will be your guide. So today's practice is the purpose of life, which is a very big subject, but we'll try to tackle that within the 10 minutes of our time together. So let's get situated, comfortable. Turn off your phones, close the door, bundle yourself up. Great. Yeah, so find that seat that makes you feel comfortable, but is stable and steady enough so that you feel alert. And as you're doing that, I will light our candle. May the lighting of this candle dispel the darkness of our minds and the minds of all beings. So as you get comfortable, noticing how your body feels, letting go to any attachment to discomfort, any attachment to feeling good, just noticing, being neutral. And before I ask you to close your eyes, I'm going to read to you a quote that I recently came across, and it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I found this when I first came across this quote. I found it a little provocative. It really kind of jarred me into thinking. So I'm going to read it to you and then ask you to feel it more than think about it. Okay? The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you lived and lived well. Right, so now I'll invite you to close your eyes and connect with your breath, our ever-present anchor. An anchor keeps you steady, keeps you stable in a safe harbor. And I am going to read this quote a couple of times and ask you to listen to it in different ways. And the most important things about this quote to keep in mind is that the purpose of life is not to be happy. That's where I got a little stuck. But it is to be compassionate, kind. It is to make a difference in the world, in somebody's life. And it is about living well, living with integrity. I will once again read this quote, and what I'll ask you to do is allow whatever thoughts come up, allow them, but not to attach to them. Okay? Not to let the thinking mind start rambling on, but just to let whatever it is come up, whatever first thoughts, and then come back to your breath. Okay? So feeling the inhale and the exhale. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Watching the thoughts as they come up, not attaching, coming back to your breath, your inhale and your exhale. Again, the breath is where we find safe harbor. And the breath reminds us not to attach, not to start thinking, but just to allow thoughts, allow them to arise and dissipate. I will read this once again, and this time I ask you to just kind of sit in the echo of these thoughts, to feel the vibration, to get a sense of the meaning. The tricky part is not to do too much thinking, but just to allow maybe a visceral feeling in your body or noticing the breath. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Sitting with the echo of these words. Are you feeling optimistic, confused, in agreement, disagreement? Just noticing the sensations that these words bring up for you. And coming back to your breath, to an inhale, to an exhale. Letting go. Sitting in the vibration of these words. And I'll read this one more time. And this time I ask you to just embody this, embody these words. Feel them in your body. Notice any sensations. Again, we're not thinking, we're not attaching or judging. Just listening and letting go. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Experiencing your inhale and your exhale. To have lived and lived well. Breathing in and breathing out. To be compassionate, to make a difference, to live well. These items are the purpose of life, which does lead to happiness. Inhaling, exhaling. Present to the vibration of these profound words. And so our time together comes to a close. And as we close, I do wish you happiness. But let that not be the goal. Let it be compassion. Let it be usefulness to make a difference in someone's life. I will post these words on the group page if you'd like to contemplate a little further. In the meantime, I thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to being with you next week. Many blessings.